clinical advisor to CBD Health Collection. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a new water-soluble CBD product, ISO Edge, and why I am so excited about this product. I've actually been using it in my tea. I'm a tea fiend, and it tastes wonderful. Actually has no taste. Mixes in perfectly with your tea. And what are we talking about today? And why are we talking about water-soluble CBD? Well, it's very important because CBD is typically oil or fat soluble, meaning if you put CBD droplets in water, it's going to float to the top and you're going to see an oily residue on there. And a lot of places where you go get CBD tea or CBD coffee, that's what they do. They'll just put the CBD on top and it doesn't mix well. The absorption changes and you don't have a product that you enjoy because you're getting this oily, watery product. The other thing that they'll do is they'll use CBD infused beans or leaves or something like that. The problem is that is not well mixed, meaning there's not a whole lot of CBD in the final product. And actually, we have a white paper, a study that shows this. So what the study did was it did four things. The first is it looked at a full spectrum infused ground coffee at 1,000 milligrams and 2,000 milligram coffee bags, and they brewed that coffee at two different temps, 180 degrees and 200 degrees. And then they analyzed the CBD concentration at 0, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes. In all tests, the CBD in the actual cup where you would drink it was less than 1% of the amount that you would think would be in there. Meaning, after they tested it, all the CBD on the label where it said this much per cup, there was only 1% of what was actually thought should be there, meaning there was no CBD, basically. Next, they took a water-soluble CBD package. They brewed it using a pour-over technique. So this is when you get a filter, you put like your coffee in the filter and you pour hot water over it. And they did that at room temperature and then with hot water at 200 degrees. And what they found was that there was only 38.7% of the CBD that you would expect afterwards, and there was 27% for room temperature, meaning most of the CBD was lost in the filter. So if you're using a product that has CBD infused into the ground coffee or coffee beans and you're using a filter, it's going to be lost. You're going to get similar results. You're not getting your money's worth, unfortunately. Next, they added coffee. So now we're using the pour over technique with coffee and CBD. And at time 0, they repeated this a couple times. There was an average of 13% left of the CBD. And at 15 minutes, this was 13.7%. So again, we're not getting enough CBD left in the cup to really make a difference. We're not getting our money's worth. Lastly, they tested our ISO Edge CBD product. So 25 milligrams per packet. They poured it over, used poured over brewing again. But this time, instead of putting the CBD on the filter, put the CBD directly in the cup. And the concentration at the end was 29.4 milligrams per 11.8 ounce brew. Meaning we had achieved the desired amount. We wanted 20 to 30 milligrams in the cup. And that's what you are actually getting. And like I said, I've tested this with tea. It mixes in clean. It tastes great. There is no taste. And then you can get all the benefits of CBD in your coffee cup or your tea cup. But the product also has vitamin B12, methylated vitamin B12 or methylcobalamin. This is very important. A large percent of the population has a gene problem where they don't activate vitamin B12 correctly. So all the really good products will have the methylated version, the already activated version that our body can use immediately in them. B12 plays a lot of different important roles in the body. It's used for energy production, for the metabolism of fats and proteins, for methylation, how we turn our genes on and off, for making red blood cells, also used for maintenance of nerve cells, DNA, Deficiencies in B12 are not uncommon. They result from things like alcoholism, malabsorption, gastric bypass is a big cause. If you have problems with your stomach acid, with like H. pylori infection, or you're using antacids all the time, PPIs, H2 blockers. Vegans have lower levels because most of the food sources for vitamin B12 are meats, shellfish, poultry, fish, eggs, cheese. And then certain medications like metformin or birth control can deplete B vitamins. It's estimated that a B12 deficiency is present in about 16% of adults, again, not a trivial number, and up to 20% of adults above the age of 65. Symptoms of B12 deficiency include anemia, fatigue. You can have numbness, tingling, memory loss, depression. You can have deficits in gene expression and DNA repair, which can lead to chronic diseases. So putting methylcobalamin or activated B12 in the product just enhances overall health and wellness. Thank you for listening and have a blessed day.